The Exorcism of Emily Rose is a 2005 supernatural horror film that blends horror elements with courtroom drama. Directed by Scott Derrickson, the movie is inspired by the real-life case of Anneliese Michel, a young German woman who underwent a series of exorcisms in the 1970s. Emily Rose is introduced as a normal and devoutly religious college student. She attends classes, interacts with her friends, and maintains a close relationship with her family. The first signs of her behavior becoming unusual involve her experiencing moments of deep trance-like states and hearing strange noises. Emily starts seeing disturbing visions, such as shadowy figures, faces contorted, and otherworldly entities. These visions are often accompanied by unsettling and whispered voices that seem to come from nowhere. She becomes increasingly afraid and paranoid, convinced that someone or something is following her. Emily starts suffering from sleep paralysis, a phenomenon where a person feels awake but is unable to move. During these episodes, she witnesses frightening apparitions and experiences a feeling of intense pressure on her chest. The combination of sleep paralysis and hallucinations terrifies her and exacerbates her mental and emotional distress. Emily's physical behavior becomes more and more unusual. She exhibits episodes of extreme physical contortions, with her body bending in unnatural ways. She displays extraordinary strength during these episodes, overpowering those around her and sometimes injuring herself. Emily's personality undergoes a dramatic shift. She becomes withdrawn and agitated, and her responses become erratic and disjointed. She speaks in different voices, alternating between her voice and guttural, demonic-sounding tones. Emily's health deteriorated significantly. She loses her appetite, and her physical appearance becomes frail and malnourished. She neglects personal hygiene and basic self-care, leading to a further decline in her overall well-being. During her episodes, Emily starts speaking in languages she has no prior knowledge of. These languages are often ancient and rarely spoken. In some instances, Emily is seen interacting with objects in inexplicable ways. Items move or break without any apparent physical force, suggesting a supernatural presence. Emily alternates between extreme emotional states, from fits of rage and aggression to moments of profound sadness and despair. Her mood swings become unpredictable, making it difficult for those around her to understand or help her. As Emily's behavior becomes increasingly erratic, her family becomes deeply concerned for her well-being and seeks help from medical professionals, who attempt to diagnose her condition through medical and psychological examinations. However, as her condition worsens and defies rational explanations, they turn to religious solutions, including exorcisms, in an attempt to save her from what they believe is a demonic possession. This sets the stage for the intense and thought-provoking events that unfold in the film. Emily's family becomes increasingly concerned about her well-being. They seek help from Father Richard Moore, who is convinced that Emily is possessed by demonic forces. The priest, with the approval of Emily's family, performs a series of exorcisms in an attempt to rid her of the supposed demons. The family, along with Father Richard Moore, arranges for the first exorcism to be performed on Emily. Father Moore follows traditional Catholic exorcism rituals. The room is prepared with religious icons, holy water, and candles. Emily is bound to a bed, and Father Moore begins reciting prayers and using holy objects to drive out the demons. During the exorcism, Emily's body contorts unnaturally, and she speaks strange languages and voices. She exhibits superhuman strength and reacts violently to the exorcism. The exorcism attempt is unsuccessful, leaving Emily physically weakened and mentally drained. As Emily's condition deteriorates further, Father Moore and the family continue to conduct additional exorcisms, each becoming more intense and desperate. The exorcism scenes depict Emily's extreme suffering, with her body writhing, her facial expressions contorted, and her voice alternating between guttural growls and anguished cries. Emily's physical and mental health continue to decline after each exorcism, and the rituals seem to take a toll on her and those trying to help her. As Emily's condition worsens and her health deteriorates, medical professionals are brought in to assess her physical and mental state. The medical experts present during the exorcisms express concerns about her condition and urge the family to seek medical treatment, attributing her behavior to medical and psychological issues rather than demonic possession. Father Moore, portrayed as a compassionate and devout priest, wrestles with his beliefs and the implications of his actions. He is torn between his desire to save Emily and his doubts about the nature of her affliction. The series of exorcisms in the film intensifies the horror elements and highlights the desperation of Emily's family and Father Moore as they grapple with supernatural forces that seem beyond their control. The courtroom scenes form a central part of the film's structure. The trial becomes a battleground between Father Moore's belief in the supernatural and the prosecution's argument that medical explanations are more reasonable. The film raises questions about the existence of evil, the limits of science and faith, and the nature of reality. Throughout the trial, experts in both theology and medicine provide conflicting opinions on Emily's condition. The movie leaves the audience with a sense of ambiguity, allowing viewers to conclude what might have indeed happened to Emily. As the trial reaches its climax, Father Moore takes the stand and recounts the exorcism rituals and the events leading to Emily's death. The film effectively balances the horror elements with the emotional and spiritual turmoil faced by the characters. In the end, the trial's outcome is left somewhat open-ended. The jury finds Father Moore guilty of negligent homicide, but the judge imposes a light sentence due to the priest's age and health. The film concludes with Erin Brunner having a moment of doubt as she encounters a supernatural occurrence herself, hinting at the possibility that the forces at play might be beyond scientific explanation. The Exorcism of Emily Rose is notable for its exploration of faith, skepticism, and the blurred line between the supernatural and the rational. It combines horror with a thought-provoking narrative, leaving viewers pondering the nature of good and evil long after the credits roll.